Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. I have a lot of friends and family acquaintances who are talking about the coronavirus. Some of them seem to be fairly panicked, and to me it kind of snuck up on me. So I did a little research and I just wanted to share my thoughts. First of all, be careful, try not to catch it, wash your hands, all that kind of stuff, hand sanitizer, keep your hands away from your face. So obviously all common sense stuff. So let's start there. All good ideas. Secondly, be aware of your surroundings. If you happen to walk into a supermarket and somebody is hacking away at the pharmacy or wherever, stay away from them. Obviously, be careful what you touch, right? Be aware the person before you might have contaminated the basket and all that. So that hand sanitizer thing, once again, stay away from people who are coughing and everything else. The amounts you should be careful. Really kind of step up your efforts if you happen to hear that it's in your area. As of right now, for New York and the Hudson Valley, it's really not here, but we do have airports all over the place. Right, the ones in the city, Newark, Albany, Stewart, all international. So people could be, right, it might not be here this minute, but it could be here anytime. So just be aware of that. I would not go into a crazy hoard mode, but also be cognizant of the fact that the person who delivers your fuel oil, his crew might get sick and the guy who drives the truck might not be able to get to you for a day or so. So try not to run yourself to emergency levels of fuel oil or your prescription medicines or anything. Not that I would go and, once again, hoard up all my medicine and all that, but I would just be cognizant of the fact that your life could be disrupted. And speaking of disrupted, I probably would be a little nervous about getting on a cruise ship or an airplane, because not that the fear of coronavirus would keep me from it, but the fear of being stuck someplace for 2 weeks would keep me from it. The last thing I would want to be is stuck in a boat in my cabin for 2 weeks without internet or TV or really anything else, right? Somebody brings you a little food and hands it to you, you know, and you get to sit there for 2 weeks living like that. I think by the end of the 2 weeks, my wife would have me dead, and she would just chuck me overboard somewhere in the harbor. I guess I would be found easily. So I wouldn't go completely crazy, but I would take it seriously. Just go with the common sense. I went out today and I didn't pick up a whole hoard of gasoline, mostly because it doesn't keep all that long, so having a whole hoard of gasoline doesn't do you much good. But I did pick up enough so that if the power goes out and the power company, due to some of their people being sick, cannot turn it on immediately for me, I have the ability to spark up the old generator and get the power back on. I also picked up diesel, and it's because I need it. I picked up some diesel for the heater in the garage. This whole thing, if anybody tells you they know exactly what's going to happen, they got a 50-50 being chance, or a 1/3 chance of being right. It might be nothing, it might be a big deal, or it might be an inconvenience, right? So pick one of those, bet on it, and see if you win. I'm thinking more than likely an inconvenience, but catching the flu is an inconvenience, right? Catching a bad cold is an inconvenience. I'm thinking that's probably where it's going to land. Though, if it's a big deal, we can find ourselves all kind of in a limbo period while one's waiting to get over it or waiting for whatever inconvenience it triggers to go by. So just be ready for it. Nothing to go too crazy about. Hopefully it's not that big a deal. If you are unfortunate enough to catch it, it's got a higher mortality rate, 10 times higher, give or take a little bit, than the normal flu. Normal flu, we lose about 1 in 1,000. This, you can lose 1 or 2 in 100. So, recommend not catching it at all. Pay attention. Wash your hands. Keep your hands away from your face. Stay away from people that are coughing and hacking and all that stuff. It appears as if there's shortages of masks and all that. A simple paper mask would prevent you from giving it to somebody, but it won't necessarily prevent them from giving it to you. You actually need more of a specialized mask. And I guess they're more or less sold out all over the place. People probably have them all hoarded up. People who don't need them have 100, and people who do need them can't get them. So, welcome to it. I guess I shouldn't throw stones. Perhaps I'm like that with all-terrain vehicles. So in the meantime, I'll say it again, even though you're sick of hearing it, wash your hands, hand sanitizer, stay out of crowds, and prepare just in case you more or less have to hold yourself up for a week or two, right? Whether you're sick and you're holed up for a week or two, which can make it hard to go out and collect firewood, or hard to go downstairs, in my case, and get pellets, right? So just in case you're sick, or just in case, you know, you don't want to be down to your last can of tuna fish if, you know, you can't get to the grocery store for 2 weeks because it's shut down, right? Have an extra can or two floating around. You don't need to hoard the tuna fish. You just need an extra can or two. Anyway, I hope this helps everyone out there. Please remember to keep your feet down, your heads up, and get out and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.